Well, a developing story this hour. President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa has given the Special Investigating Unit, that's the SIU, the green light to probe allegations of corruption and maladministration at the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, that's NSFAS. That's in a bid to recover any financial losses suffered by the state through corruption and negligence. Well, let's get more on this with the spokesperson for the SIU, Mr. Kaizer Kganyago. Kaizer, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. Welcome to Today on eNCA. Just take us through the main highlights. Where is the genesis of this probe? Why has the president deemed it fit to grant you the powers now to investigate?
Thank you very much, Braden, and thank you to your viewers. We received allegations some time back that indicated that there was some maladministration that was happening in the affairs of NSFAS, and that was in relation to two areas, which is one, the issue of the management of the finances of the organization itself, but secondly, on the issue of the allocation of loans, bursaries, and other funding that they pay in terms of their act to students. Therefore, when those allegations came our way, we did our research and we found that there was something that was amiss, and we wrote this proclamation to the president so that he can sign and give us authority to do so. He has done so, and now today the proclamation has been gazetted.
Now, you mentioned there's two areas. So one is about negligence, about how the finances of NSFAS itself are being managed. What can you tell us about that? What's the concern there?
Well, the concern is mainly around the fact that it looks as if there is maladministration that is happening in the management of the finances themselves. But that automatically then relates to the issue of how they allocate this money, because because of the mismanagement in the finances, they then allocate this money in an appropriate manner to students. And you will remember, Braden, that there was that incident where somebody was given more money, millions of rands out of this funding from NSFAS. Therefore, those are some of the issues. But also, we have found so far in the allegations that there might be some people who are allocating this bursaries to their families and to their friends. And that is why one of the things that we are going to be looking into is to investigate if there's any unlawful or improper conduct by the employees or the officials of NSFAS or a service provider, or even the entities that might be involved, because you might find that they are in collusion with some of the universities where these monies go.
Okay. I just want to use that example you've mentioned, that student from SIU University, Sibongile Mani, being erroneously paid 14 million rand. We all know about that case. Is this investigation, for example, also taking that into consideration to see how was that allowed to happen?
Yes, we are going to do that. You will remember at some point we even went to Parliament when this matter was raised there. And we raised our concern around it. And even though at the time, I think NSFAS was saying this mistake was not done on their part. But those are the things that we've got to look at. That's why I'm making this reference to say from NSFAS, this goes to other entities like universities. Therefore, we'll have to follow how this process happened and see whether there is no collusion that was done between the two institutions or between the employees and other people that they are giving these bursaries to.
So it's going to be a comprehensive investigation for how the affairs are run and how monies are then distributed. Now, we are in August, in August, and the new academic year is looming. And during this time, building up to, of course, the beginning of the 2023 academic year, students who will need funding will have to apply to NSFAS. Will your investigation as the SIU affect their current workload as they prepare for the 2023 academic year?
No, it will not affect it at all. Our proclamation will ask us to investigate from the 1st of April 2016 up until today, which is the date of the proclamation. Therefore, whatever will be happening after today, which is not linked to any of the things that were happening within that time period, will not be affected.
Also, so from 2016 up to today, being the 26th of August. Okay, and then finally, should we expect, I mean, normally the way we've seen you operate, the SIU, if there's no cooperation or collaboration by the entity that you are investigating, then that is followed with raids. Are you going to be as meticulous as possible in this investigation?
No, definitely we are, brother. We are going to ask for the documentation, and we do it in a nice manner, and we just go there and get the documentation if they cooperate. But if they don't cooperate, the law allows us to do the search and seizure, and we will do that without even noticing them, giving them any notice. Therefore, for us, it is something that is standard. But if they cooperate, we'll do it. But secondly, to just build on this thing, or this question, once we have gathered all the information, that will determine how big the scope is, and then that will also determine how long the investigation is going to take.
Okay, meanwhile, if a student or a family that's got a poor student who's going to apply to NSFAS, when they read these headlines from this afternoon that NSFAS is under investigation, they can still proceed. They must proceed to apply for funding and apply for bursaries for next year.
Definitely. The NSFAS is there for a reason. It must continue to do that, whatever it is intended to do. All that we are trying to do is to say, whatever they do as NSFAS, it must be done within the act that governs them, and it must be fair, as the Constitution always says.
Thank you very much. Kaizer Kganyago speaking on behalf of the Special Investigating Unit, SIU, with the President earlier today signing that proclamation, granting the SIU the go-ahead to investigate NSFAS, that's the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, and they'll be investigating what has happened in the past from 2016 up to today. So if you are an NSFAS student or you want to apply, go ahead as usual, as normal. That process will not be stopped by the SIU investigation. But that real small matter of what happened a few years ago with that 14 million rand that was paid by mistake by NSFAS to the account of Sibongile Mani, student at Walter Sisulu University. We know that went to court, and we know all the noise around that. That has also prompted the SIU to say something is not right at NSFAS. So they'll be investigating NSFAS's own financial books plus its own system of dishing out the bursaries and offering loans to students.